Good morning. This is Pastor Larry from El Shaddai Christian Assembly located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As a matter of fact, our address is 1448 Greenwood Street and the zip code is 19150. The phone number to the church is 215-927-7188. And you can reach me if you send an email to pastor.LSHADDAI@gmail.com. That's my email address, so please feel free to comment, to like, and hit the subscribe button, please. We appreciate that. That helps our channel. Today, I finally decided on the title for these Tuesday. It's called, I think it should be Tuesday's Teaching Tidbits. Tuesday's Teaching Tidbits is the title. And coincidentally, since I have a name for it, I think today's message or teaching tidbit is going to be broken up. It'll probably be at least two parts because I don't like to go real long because it's a tidbit, so it shouldn't be very long. But the titles would be, Who is to blame, Yahweh or man? Again, I said the title of today's Tuesday teaching tidbit is, Who is to blame, Yahweh, that's God, or Elohim, or man? And so our first scripture is going to be Genesis chapter 1. And I'm reading from the King James. Sometimes I read from the Berean Study Bible. But Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And I think I mentioned on Who is God that in Genesis 1, every time they mentioned God in there, it was actually translated from Elohim. So I'm going to use that. It says, And Elohim said, let us make, this is verse 26, Genesis 1 in the King James Version. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. And verse 28, and Elohim blessed them. And Elohim said unto them, Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So this is Elohim creating man here in this realm, this universe as we see it, as we know it and recognize it. Elohim already existed, so it's not like he was creating everything from nothing. He already existed. He's the Alpha and the Omega. So he was creating this for us. This is our beginning. It says in verse 1, it says in the beginning Elohim, but he was already here. He was creating this for us. And so as Moses is recounting this, Moses is recounting the beginning for man, not for Yahweh or for Elohim or for the Alpha and the Omega. He's the beginning and the end. So this was our creation, not his. He was already here. Just want to put that out there, make sure we have that in the proper context. So he was creating this realm for us. And if you read further, you'll see all the things that he did for us. He created all the sun, the moon, the stars, and the seasons, and the animals and the food for us to eat. And as a matter of fact, a few verses later, verse 29 actually says, And Elohim said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree-yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. In other words, that's for what we were originally charged to eat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. And Elohim saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Now before that, every time he created something, Elohim created something, he said it was good. But after he created man and woman in his image, he said it was very good. And he also said something that was interesting, is that all the green herbs and the trees and the fruit thereof was for us to eat, for meat. Now, don't take this the wrong way. Don't think that all of a sudden you have to become a vegetarian. That's because things did change. As a matter of fact, Yeshua fed fish when he had come back from after the crucifixion. He fed fish and whatever else kind of bread to his disciples when they saw him, if you read in the book of John. Also, he broke bread, and he had fish when he fed the 5,000. So it's not like you couldn't eat anything. As a matter of fact, he told during the Passover they were to eat lamb. So don't take this and run with it the wrong way. I'm just saying in the beginning, when everything was very good, that was our diet, was to consist of meat and things like that. As a matter of fact, I was thinking of something humorous, is that, the lions and tigers and other carnivores, it's a joke, but it's just something humorous, can you imagine them hoping that Adam would fall so they could say, I wonder what meat tastes like, these carnivores, or to become carnivores, because they were supposed to eat fruit and things like that. And also I believe that things changed after the fall, after Adam and Eve sinned, and we'll see that, I guess, at some point. I may do a little teaching on that. But just want to say that Yahweh created all this for us, right? And he already had everything he needed. He didn't need us. He created this, everything. He created all those things that he called good for us to be able to enjoy. And then once he created us, he said it was very good. So in the beginning, Yahweh created man for this realm. He already had a realm, the spirit realm. Yahweh is a spirit. He created this natural realm that we live in for us to be able to live in and for him to fellowship with us. But he created this realm for us. So it was for us, it wasn't, that's why, again, as we get into this teaching of who's to blame, Yahweh or man, this is our realm. And the realm that was first created was, there was no sickness, no disease, no sin, no evil. As a matter of fact, he told them not to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That tree, when they ate of it, remember, it wasn't just evil that they learned. They also learned, there was also the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Before that, they were innocent, and they only thought the way they were created to think. It wasn't until they ate of the tree of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil that they became separated from Yahweh, and sin was able to enter in, or the evil part. But man still had a knowledge of good at the same time. It's just that they also had a will to make a decision on what to do, whether to do good or to do evil. Somewhere later in Genesis chapter, I believe may have been around chapter 6, where it says that man's mind or their thoughts were on evil continually. So that's what happened. We were corrupted. But prior to that, everything was good. That's how Yahweh created it. So if it was created good by Yahweh, and he said it was very good, and then man comes along and goes against disobeys Yahweh, or Elohim, if you want to call him that, disobeys him, and now things are messed up, and we continually blame things on him, like earthquakes, tornadoes, droughts, and things like that. I'm going to read a few scriptures, maybe not today, because it looks like I'm already getting towards the end of my time, but that'll show you that it didn't come from him. Let's turn to Psalm chapter 115. Psalm 115, verse 16. It says, even the heavens are the Lord's. So his realm is his. It says, but the earth has he given to the children of men. So this earth and this realm is what he's given to us. So that right there should be enough for us to recognize that things that happen here on this earth have to do because of things that we've done, not Yahweh. We blame things like even in our insurance policies, we say this is covered, but not if it's an act of God, meaning a hurricane or tornado or tsunami, things like that. We call them an act of God. It's not an act of God. It's a result of man's disobedience. And again, we'll get into that a little bit more. But I wanted to just throw a couple things out there, and I want to put this scripture out there as well. John 10, verse 10. Let's turn to John 10, verse 10. I think I'll wrap up there for today. John 10, verse 10, and that way you can get on about your day. But this thing here should answer the question, but we're going to go into more depth and detail next week. Listen to this. John 10, verse 10, it says, the thief is the enemy, the adversary, the devil. It says the thief, or the enemy, the adversary, the devil. He comes if not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. That's the only reason he comes, because he comes up. That's what he came up against Adam and Eve for, to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Yahweh had said, the day you eat of this, you will die, surely die. The thief knew that. That's why he came and said, oh, he didn't really mean that. He came to steal, to kill, and to destroy. That was his modus operandi from the beginning, coupled with deception and lies. So he came and told them a lie because he wanted to steal, kill, and destroy from them. And then he tells us the lie that, well, God took your loved one. God needed an angel. God created everything in the beginning, it says, and then he rested. All the angels he needed were created at that time. And who are you to tell us that someone's an angel now because they died? I don't think you have that power to create an angel. You might create it in your mind, but you're saying, oh, they're an angel up there now watching over us. Go ahead and believe that if you want. When you leave here, you don't have control. Your control is now the decisions you're making now is where you have the control. When you get into God's realm, into heaven, it says the heavens are the Lord's, not yours. You don't control what goes into heaven. It's just religious, made up stuff. Stop making up stuff. Go according to the word of Yahweh. Anyway, it says the thief cometh not. That's a whole nother message. Cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. This is Yeshua talking, the Messiah, the Christ. He says, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. I've never seen the description for life and abundant life to be coupled with hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, and disasters. That's not coming from the Messiah, and that's what he says. That's why he came. I've never seen those things coupled together. Abundant life with hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, disasters, famines. That's not from the Messiah. It says the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So we actually blame Yahweh for things that are our responsibility. We may not be doing it, but it's our responsibility because of what we've done. And we'll see that when we read some other scriptures later on. But with that, I'm going to I'm going to end that right now because we're already getting into just over 12 minutes, and I want to try and keep these in the 15-minute mark. And if I go into the next scriptures, we'll go over that. But I hope this starts to answer the question: who is to blame, Yahweh or man? Because it's not Yahweh, it's not God, it's not Elohim doing this. It's the thief who came to steal, kill, and to destroy. He's the one stealing, killing, and destroying, and we're the ones that's responsible for his ability to do those things. Some of the things are now, because things have been corrupted as a result of the fall. Animals, which were originally meant to be vegetarians, are now carnivores. Not every one of them. Man, we were originally meant to be vegetarians, but we're now omnivores, and we eat other things besides the fruit and vegetables. We eat meat and fish and things like that as well. But Yahweh's able to make the best of it. So it's been corrupted, but he's still here. He came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. So I want you to remember that even though things have changed and been corrupted, the incorruptible one has sent his son here so that we could be uncorrupted, made righteous again. And then he sent his spirit to dwell on the inside of us. His righteous, incorruptible spirit is on the inside of us. But when bad things happen, it's not Yahweh's fault. I know you're going to read some things and you'll hear things, but let's go with what the scripture says. Let's go with his character and his nature. If you knew his nature, you wouldn't blame bad things on him. You would blame the bad things on the one whose nature it is to create bad things. Anyway, love you. Yah bless you, and shalom.